Arsenal versus West Ham United for our Sunday fixture that I'm going to be focusing on. Now, Arsenal came from a great result in the Premier League against Newcastle United. We took on a team that we really struggle with last season. The last few seasons, every time we go to St. James's Park, we got battered and bruised and came back licking our wounds and moaning about all sorts of conspiracies. We did come back more about, talking a bit about the conspiracies, but we came back with 3 points as well, which is the most important thing, guys. Right. So against West Ham United, what am I expecting? Let's have a look at the potential lineups. I'm just going to go through what the potential lineups will be, the way we lined up against Palace. And of course, things can change on the day, injuries, illness, anything. So Raya in goal, Julian Timber in that right back position, or Ben White, but I'm going for Julian Timber. I think he's going to give us a crazy verse. And then Mosquera will probably be replaced by Saliba. Saliba came in and did a great job against Newcastle, and I don't think it's Mosquera's fault that he is going to be sitting on the bench. Literally, I think the communication between Gabriel and Saliba is awesome. And West Ham game is never the easiest game for us. I know right now they're going through a bad patch of form, but they've got a new manager, isn't it? Nuno is taking over from Nottingham, and he's going to be taking over, and it's going to be really challenging for Arsenal because he always has some success. Even if we win sometimes against him, we come out a bit sorry for ourselves. We do. Obviously, it would be, I think, a fullback pairing of Saliba and Gabriel. Ricardo Calafiori seems to have taken that spot completely off Miles Lewis-Skelly, and if he's fit, he's definitely going to start. Miles Lewis-Skelly really needs to, it doesn't really need to work completely hard. He's such a sensible boy. I think he's just biding his time. When he came on against Newcastle, he looked so comfortable in the attacking position, in the defensive setting. He was keeping an eye out. He was taking his chances. He didn't look tentative at all. That boy is special, and he has got a lot of time to grow. So yeah, no worried. And then now, Arteta likes that midfield three of Merino, Zubimendi, and Rice. He started Zubimendi and Rice without Merino this time against Newcastle, and for me that worked really well. We didn't score early, but we had all the chances to score without Merino in. But we just needed another route late in the game for the headers because we relied on set pieces again, which worked for us. So having that option is amazing. But I think he either plays Zubimendi or he plays Merino. You can't have both of them playing with Rice. Rice ends up taking too much of that defensive midfield role when either of those two are playing. So if he plays Zubimendi, I don't think it's going to be the worst thing in the world, but we can expect that replacement. But he could literally, he'll be fine. So now he could either have Zubimendi. Oh, this is going to be so tough. How is he going to do this? This is what he should do. He should start Zubimendi, Rice, and Odegaard in that midfield. Then he should have Bukayo Saka, Eze, and Gyökeres up front. That is what I think he should do. But I think he's going to maintain Leandro Trossard in that, I can never tell my left from right, in that left, on that left wing. He's going to keep him there. And I agree with it. Only because you need players who are match fit to have a successful run at the trophies that we are trying to win. You cannot just put him on in the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup, because that is probably why we end up getting kicked out very early. You need people like Leandro Trossard, who is a squad player playing, and he hasn't done anything wrong. He had a chance against Newcastle, which came off the post. He did pretty well. And yeah, let him start. And I agree with everything. As long as Gyökeres is up front, we need him scoring. And then, of course, we've got the option of Merino coming on if we end up needing some aerial threats. And then, yeah, Saliba, though, I'm really, really getting a feel for how important he is for us. Because, like against Newcastle, that goal, no one is even picking it up. The reason that ball goes into the back of the net is because Saliba stands in front of Nick Pope at that crucial time when Nick Pope has told his players that, wait, I'm getting this ball. He just scoots himself and goes and fits himself right in front of that keeper. And that meant he couldn't reach across and punch that ball off Gabriel's head. And he would have done it as well. So Saliba played a pivotal role in that goal, in my opinion. And yeah, it was amazing. And I think he will start. But yeah, this is how I think Arsenal should line up. That central midfield, sort of defensive midfield, we should have Zubimendi, Rice, Odegaard, and then Saka, Eze, then Gyökeres. I think that's the way to go. That should be our main team. And then everyone else can come and balance things, to offset injuries and niggles and stuff like that. I think we'll succeed if we do it like that. Otherwise, the expected lineup, I'm using live score as well, just to see what the teams that were used, West Ham used against, when West Ham played Palace, they lined up. So, Areola in goal. Malik Diouf, Kilman, Mavropanos, and Walker Peters, James Ward-Prowse, Matthias Fernandes in that defensive midfield role, Gerard Bowen, Paqueta, and Somerville in sort of like the attacking midfield, and then Callum Wilson up front. I am not super convinced that that is a very, very great lineup, but these teams always give us some issues. Let's see stats head to head in recent seasons. How do you check head to head? Right. So in terms of head to head, Arsenal in February this year, because we're in September now, they lost 1-0 to West Ham. Now, this is one of the games that we were crying out for centre forwards because we didn't have a proper centre forward. We needed something. And that's why Gyökeres, I think, was bought. These games are what cost us last season. We lost the league by way too many points because we were losing and drawing to teams like Newcastle and to teams like West Ham. So we lost at home to West Ham, shocking. But away at West Ham, we beat them 5-2. And the season before last, it was 6-0 to Arsenal and 2-0. And West Ham beat us 2-0 at Arsenal. So they always beat, oh my goodness, they tend to beat us at home. Yeah. For the last 3 seasons, we have lost to West Ham at home. Ridiculous. It can't happen this season, and I'm sure Arteta is going to be right on that job to make sure that doesn't happen at all. Now, the other games that are happening on Saturday, we've got Manchester United taking on Sunderland. Granit Xhaka is the Sunderland captain. I'm expecting Manchester United to bleed, to go through some hell, because that guy is sensational. He can change. I wish he was still playing for Arsenal myself, or some player. The big game on Saturday will be Chelsea versus Liverpool. That's huge. We need Chelsea to do something. But they are terrible, aren't they, Chelsea? They're terrible. At the moment, they're picking up red cards for fun. It's ridiculous. Let's see what happens against Liverpool, if they'll be able to do something. But yeah, so Chelsea, Liverpool, I am expecting a Liverpool win. I can't lie. But hopefully Chelsea can get even a draw, because that will be good for Arsenal. I have to be realistic though. Liverpool win. On Sunday, let's see what the games are on Sunday in the Premier League. We've got Aston Villa, Burnley. Aston Villa have been looking a bit dreary the last few games, but they won the other day 3-1. They beat Fulham 3-1. My memory works. And then Everton Palace will be interesting. David Moyes. And then Palace is pretty decent still. Look what they did to Liverpool the other day. 2-1 Edin Ketia. Oh, awesome game. I love it. And then Newcastle United will be playing Nottingham Forest. I'm going for a Newcastle win. Nottingham Forest have got a ridiculous manager, ridiculous decision to get rid of Nuno, to get Ange. Ridiculous. What are you thinking? Wolves, Brighton. Wolves almost got 3 points against Tottenham. but they considered a last minute winner, Paulinia, with a fantastic strike for Tottenham, and ended up being a draw. Brighton, of course, beautiful team. I love Brighton. It's one of those teams where you lose and you don't feel aggrieved because they're a pretty decent side. They're just nice. Brentford versus Manchester City. Brentford beat Manchester United the other day, hammered them completely, 3-1. I don't think Manchester City will be that easy to beat because they are not completely delusional. So those are our games on Saturday and Sunday. Let's see if we've got anything after. Nothing on Monday, because after that we have got World Cup qualifiers. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in the next World Cup qualifiers. But yeah, from this weekend, that's it. We are going to qualifiers and international break. So let me know what you think. Do not forget to like and subscribe and share this video with anyone who you think might enjoy it. Right. Thank you so much, you guys, and you have a good and lovely weekend. Bye-bye.